So before starting, I'll give you my introduction. I'm basically from Bihar, Bhagalpur, and I used to live 1990 onwards with Swami Sai Swamiji, and I lived around 10 years with him. And 2000 I came to here in Dayananda Ashram, and I joined Swamiji's, and I got a blessings from Puja Swamiji, Swami Dayananda, and I lived in Anikati Ashram for 3-4 years. And then I moved to Bangalore, Vivekananda Yoga University. That's okay? Yeah. Okay. That's fine? Yeah. And then I studied around 1 year in Bangalore, and then I came to Rishikesh again 2006, and 2007 I was in China, in Hong Kong around for 1 year traveling. And then I came back again to Rishikesh and I started here my own program. So I do like a retreat 1 week, 10 days, and 200 hours, which is now modern yoga, okay, and 300 hours yoga. So we prepare the teachers to teach. So this is my small introduction. So thank you, Swamiji, giving opportunity to talk about yoga, which is now is very common all over the world. So whatever I have learned from my masters, from Puja Swamiji's and other, I'll share this experience. So my English is a little bit weak, so just cooperate. So normally, in the yoga, it has been divided into 2-part yoga, which we know this modern yoga as a physical exercise, and there another aspect is spiritual, which connects to yourself. So first I'll talk about the physical, how it works in the physical, and how from physical it leads to this spiritual benefit. So normally we say this, once first you have to be healthy physically. So how yoga keeps your body to be healthy? Normally we do a lot of exercise, a lot of works like gym and gymnastics and things, but in this one thing is missing. Suppose I say, how many times do you see your body? How many times do you see your body? Hardly, maybe, you will say like 10% or less than even the 10%. We don't see our body. But when some people says, when I stand with front of mirror, I see my body. But still you are missing 99%. Then if you don't know your own body, we are 99% out of my body. My mind is out, my work is also out. So everything, whatever is happening in this body, we are unknown to my body. So yoga helps you to first to know your body, which is the first part of yoga. Do you know your kidney, how it works? We don't know. How your liver works? We don't know. How your pancreas, intestine, we have no ideas. You put the food inside, how it is churning, we have no ideas how it is going on. If you don't know your body, then who will know that? The first part of yoga, they say this, you know your body, what is your body is. And once you understand your body, then try to understand the second part. Don't try to jump to understand the second part. So start from your own body. So how do you start from your body? Just look at back. Whenever we do the exercise, we say look at your own body. That is this, when we say this union with, the body and mind and soul, what the yoga, use the word, we use this terminology, use the word. to join, the first joining should happen with your body. If you are not connected, which is dear to me, if anything happens to your body, you don't, you know this only. I don't know what is happening. If you say I have a pain in my body, how will I know this? That experience which is happening in your body, you are the experiencer. To experience this, the pain I have in my body, whether it is on the head or back or knees or whatever. And according to that, even the medical science, they cannot find out what problem is. When you say, then they realize, okay, you have a pain in your back, okay, I have so and so medications to desensitize that. But mostly, they have no ideas at all, unless you give this ideas what you have problem in your bodies. So like this, when you have a problem in your bodies, you are this experiencer to see first. That's why if anything is closer in the world, that is your body. If anything happens in this building, what will you do? You don't say I leave my body and run, right? You take your body along with and then run, right? And then you think of other. First you save yourself and then you try to save other. This is nature, human nature. So first you take care your own body which is closest to you or which is dear to you. That's why all cosmetic things works if it is related to the the body things, right? Otherwise it won't work. If they say if you eat this pill you will be young forever, then what do you do this? You go and buy and try. Whether it works or not, that's a different, but always attraction is there towards that, because I love my body the first. So that's why yoga, this the yogis, they give a first idea, the modern yogas, to understand your own body. Once you understand your own body, then you try to understand the other things. So first, while understanding your own body, first trying to bringing the mind in your body. So what happens? Suppose I say this, stretch your hand, okay, you stretched. It's mechanically, it goes and stretch. But yoga says don't do the mechanically, put your mind. When you're stretching hand, just bring this awareness that you are stretching. When you put your awareness, bring your breath also along with the stretching. Your breath, your mind and body should go together, synchronize with that. And that synchronization, what does it do? It helps to first to be aware. What happens? Your 99% what you are putting your mind outside, you shifted one part of your body, right? Then once you stretch here, your mind is there, your breath is there. Then second, your immune system. If you are this, the medical health says that if you put your awareness to your arms, your immune system also starts working in that part. Yes, my experience, whenever I have a problem in my body, pain or things, what I do this, I concentrate on that point. When I concentrate, I see the problem is not that, the whole my back or knee is centered somewhere, pinpoint. And that pinpoint is creating my awareness. If I am not aware of that pinpoint, then what happens? I feel this my whole back areas. One center point, which is one like a pin drop center, and that center point, if I am not aware of that point, then I feel my whole back is problem. But if you concentrate on that point, you will see that problem is not the whole, the back areas, it's a one center, one point, one nervous system somewhere. That is awareness. So what happens? That point also get released once you concentrate, when you focus that. What happens? Your immune system starts working. Wherever your mind is there, in the bodies, not outside, okay? So in the bodies, then your immune system starts also working in that and starts healing in that. So once immune system, what happens? Controlled by your mind, and it starts working and it becomes more healthier. So first you created awareness in the bodies, which your mind goes out of the body is always 99%. You bring, cut short that and then bring it like a, the 80%, 10%, 20%, 30%, you keep, start developing awareness in your physical body. Once you be aware of your physical body, your all organs, which is unknown to me. I don't know how this, organs are working, which is unknown to me. It starts working. That's why the yoga says, they say that yoga is the first part of yoga is to make your system involuntary into voluntary. Our system is involuntary, We don't know what is, how you are inhaling, exhaling, we have no ideas, Just it goes on mechanically, unless someone says, oh, your nose is snoring or sounding, then you realize, oh, I have some problem in my inhaling and exhaling, right? So, most of this, we are unknown to my bodies. So, they put, when you bring the awareness, it starts working from involuntary into voluntary functions. So, this process from involuntary to voluntary function is called the first part of yoga. So, just be aware of that. Your breathing, your mind, your the bodies, and then start developing the health. Healthy doesn't mean that you are strong in the bodies and you are healthy. I've seen a lot of Rishikesh is full of varieties of people. So you have met people, they are strong, healthy. But do you say that person is healthy? No, we don't say, because mentally no more. Now mentally is strong, but physically they are not strong enough. Like if we have Einstein, Stephen Hawking, he passed away, right? So mentally great, but physically no more. Do you say that person is healthy? No, we don't say that person, complete health. We say it's okay, mentally he is healthy, physically he is not. Physically healthy, mentally he is not. But one part is, another part is emotionally. Physically okay, mentally is okay, emotionally person is weak. See the cockroach, they run away. All knowledge is gone that time, seeing the cockroach only. So what happens? According to this, the health, they say you have to be physically, mentally and emotionally also. So all three brings together, according to medical science, okay, all three brings together is considered as health. But in yoga, one more part, they say spiritually you have to be healthy. Okay. So once you become spiritually healthy, then balances everything. Otherwise, it comes and goes, it fluctuates in the life. Sometimes physically you are okay, mentally you are not okay, sometimes mentally you are okay, physically you are not okay. So it goes like that, cycle ups and downs. So this is what happens in this, the modern yoga. We try to balance first the physical, mental and emotional level. This first three parts, bringing in the body's awareness that. Now, why all these things happening? The source, the root, that we have to know that. According to yoga, the body has been divided into two parts. Do you know that? Two parts? Okay, this is the junction. Okay, you have to know this. This is the junction. From here it goes down, from here it goes up. Yesterday, I think I was listening Urdu Mula Adha Sakha. Have you heard? Yeah, this is Urdu Mula Adha Sakha. From here, this is junction. Okay, energy goes down from here. How do we know energy goes down from here? From here, when there is a three state, okay, deep sleep, dream and waking, right? Everybody knows that. So when you are at deep sleep, what happens? nothing happens. You sleep. We don't know, just experience is there, right? You experiencing that you are sleeping, that's it. There is no confusion. Are you confused in deep sleep, whether you are sleeping or you are awake? We don't confuse. We sleep and sleep. Dreaming, do you confuse yourself? If your confusion is there in dream, it means you are not dreaming, you are imagining. Right? Dreaming, we don't confuse. We see tiger as a tiger. Right? We don't say, oh, you see maybe dog, and then try to check this whether it is a dog or tiger. We don't have a time that time, okay? You see as tiger, that's it, nothing else. Now, waking state, what happens? Remember rope snake Vedantas always. We confuse, right? Only this state where creates the confusion. Other two states, we don't have any confusion. Only two states, only here. Deep sleep, according to this, the yoga, we say we live in heart chakras, here. Dreaming, we live here, throat. And waking state, we live here. So, this confusion arises from here. If you go down, you will be dreaming. If you go a little bit more, you will be in deep sleep. But if you are here, confusion starts. This is the mind, Always confused mind. Human beings, 99% we are confused. Otherwise, you can see your life, always. You lock the door and say, did I lock or not? Go and check. Confusion, right? When you go to a restaurant and eat and see this menus, what should I eat? Confusion. Because here, mind divides into two parts. One mind says, do it. Other says, leave it. Sometimes I do also when I get up, the early morning. So sometimes it's, class is there, just sleep a little bit more. Confusion. Always we confuse ourselves. Why confusion is there? Here, this junction, when energy flows down towards, the sakha, the branch, towards the branch, divides two parts. Okay? That division, when happens, mind also divides into two parts. That's why the confusion is there. Once they divide into two parts here in the bodies, that's why the mind, you can think far than you can see, right? You can sitting here and imagine everything, whatever you know or you don't know. And then you say, I am tired. Why? You say, mentally I am tired. We become mentally tired, sitting there and mentally tired. Why? Because our most of the energy taken by mind. Our 90% energy takes the mind, that? Then that's why you can, imagine far from here, which you don't know, which you have not seen sometime or which you've seen, Then second is the eye. You can see far, but you cannot hear that far. Can you hear that far? No. But you can see this, the mountain. You can hear that far, but you cannot smell that far. That's how energy flows that. You can smell that far, but you cannot, taste unless it goes on your tongue, right? And then hot and cold, and then other organs in the bodies. So how it divides? The mind, when it divides, confusion starts in our life. This is the first confusion starts in the life. So this division, when this, energy, then the second, the bulk of energy goes to your chakras. Have you heard the chakras? Okay, yoga. The rest of because if there is a light here, you cannot bring this 10,000 volt here directly. You have to have a transformer or controller to control somewhere and then transfer energy into this according to your, the convenience. So like that, the energy goes, in the bodies. The most of the energy again, your 90% energy first goes to the bodies, that we say the chakras, the stores in the bodies. Then 10%, again 8% energy consumes your mind, 2% energy is there in the bodies. Then yoga, what yoga does that? When I say stretch the hand, when I say stretch the arms, what happens? We know only the 7 chakras. No, we have a small satellite chakras, small chakras in the bodies. You have, the 5 pranas, you have again small pranas in that. So like that, we have small chakras in the bodies. That chakra gets stimulated along with, because we don't see the chakras. If ask the doctor, can you open my chakras, I want to see, it is possible? No, it's not possible, because subtle things. So, but in this body, along with, because I am living in this body, and when I say I am living in this body, is a form of subtle, right? Physical, what you see this, but inside you don't know, If suppose someone is sleeping, you don't recognize whether he is alive or dead unless you check that, or some movement is there. So, when you live in this body, this with subtle, along with the physical, you stimulate your arms, you stimulate your bodies to release that energy from the small chakras. That's why when you do the yoga, you become healthy. When you do yoga, you become healthy. Yeah, that's I'm giving. So, what happens? That energy, suppose you get tired, the everyday working, from morning to evening, what do you do this? After the tiredness, you go to sleep. Sleeping, you close your mind, right? Mind is not working, your eyes is not working, your ears is not working, your sense organ is not working. So, what happens? You store energy back in the bodies. Again, you start early morning, fresh, and continue, right? Same thing happens when we do the yogas, because we have a sense organs which goes energy out of my body, but which is stored in chakras. That energy, through stimulation, we release more energy in the bodies, even though we are working hard, physically or mentally, but still we become fresh, because we attract energy from the small chakras, which is transfer from major 7 chakras. Okay. So, this division from here, this confusion from here, then the yoga says, unless you become a union, normally say this union word, union happens only 2 things if it is a similar, like the morning you were telling the milk and water, you can mix up only when the 2 things is similar. And what is the 2 things here similar? We have in medical says sympathetic and parasympathetic. Have you heard that? It's a 2 part in the bodies. Same thing, the yoga says Shiva or Shakti, or this yin yang, whatever you give the name. These 2 energy, when it goes down in the bodies, then what happens? That energy, brings into the chakras, and through the meditation, through this yoga, the union, bring the back to this 2 energy into the center. Okay. So, if I say walk, from where you will start? Don't say I will start from my room, you will start from here, right? So, if you start from here, and you cannot say, I will sleep and then I walk. Sometimes people does that, okay, that's a different, but you are not aware of that. So, when I say walk, if I go down, okay, if I go down, it means I will go either dream or deep sleep. If I go up, what is the another state? From here, that is the Raj Yoga, if you have heard this word Raj Yoga, that is a Raj Yoga here, okay. That is a meditation, we say the Raj Yoga. So, when we start from here, so we go down, then will be a dream. If we go down, you will be like the deep sleep. then Yogi says you have to move from here up to up. Okay? When you move up, there is a process in meditation or yoga, you can say that. So when you move up, what happens? The division automatically comes together. Okay? Union. Understand? This union is happening. This is not something, this body and mind, and this is the basic which makes your body and mind to be, together, to be healthy. So here union means you bring this two energy, sympathetic and parasympathetic energy together, that yoga starts from there. Most of this yoga, what we do this, we do exercise, physical practice, that's it. It's not wrong. Why? Because bringing awareness here, you need a lot of, concentration, awareness, or you have to work in that. So first work you have to start bring, people comes in classes and say, 10 minutes they sit in meditation, they say, why my mind is not settled, 24 hours you are doing something else, and 10 minutes you will sit and you will imagine I'll be like, the enlightened, the yogis. It is not possible. You have to bring your awareness, that's why there is a, the sloka, sanai sanai uparmet buddhya dhriti grihitaya. So again and again, you have to bring your energies, focus here, and that energy when comes together, that is the yoga starts. Otherwise, it becomes yoga. Okay? So modern yoga. Yoga starts only here. Once it goes together, your confusion starts. Confusion dissolves. Whatever we do, that's why in our families, always I say this, we have a lot of confusion, right? When you talk to your friend, then say, in between you say, no, this is not what I mean. It means you wanted to say something else and you said something else, right? Because the limitations. Mind has a limitation. Eye has a limitation. Ear has a limitation. The word, what I am speaking, has a limitation. Everything has a limitation. And what we are thinking? Limitless, right? This is what we want to do this, want to learn this, limitless. And from where you want to, achieve that limitless? From limited. From the mind, from the eyes, from the ear. We want to achieve that goal, and which is limitless. And our whole sense organ is limited. That's why the family is also, they have a problems, because I want to say something else. One who wants to hear, he had his own ideas, I have my ideas to say, you have your own agendas, in the mind, and you try to fix up me according to your likes and dislikes, right? I try to hear from you according to my likes and dislikes, right? Then what happens? When I said something, then the problem is I cannot express what I wanted to express, because having the limitations of my mind and word, but I, uttered some word. Now, what you want to listen, you had a limitation also, because you have also mind and, the eyes and ears, that also limited. And that limited sense organs tried to understand what he wanted from his limitless thought, to understand that. And then you try to understand your own limitation. I try to articulate in my limitations, but the problem is from the behind. Okay, the behind, I wanted to say limitless thing, you wanted to understand limitless thing, but both are receiving with limited organs, sense organs. The problem starts. That's why you say something, and then in between you say, no, this is not what I mean. I wanted to say something else, but came out something else. Why it came out? Because I don't have control, right? So that is a problem. According to yoga, we say that you try to achieve the limitless, to goal, but you try to take this limited organs along with to achieve that. That's why we are not succeed. We learn, I say, I'm sorry to say that because I'm order of Swamiji's, so I'm not criticizing anything, but we say unless you know yourself, what you are, who you are, other knowing will be unknown to you. Only you can make a logics and things, that's a different. Logic will not give you the food, You have a, books, you keep have a logic, all this ingredients in your, kitchen and books and everything will not give you the satisfaction, unless you go and cook and enjoy that, okay. Sorry. So, according to yoga, okay. So, you have to go in deep in experience that your own self. Body, we have a 5 eyes, you know that? Do you know that we have a 5 eyes? What else the 5? Okay, I'll tell you this. This physical, right? You see, I see, right? Second, imagination, right? You imagine, you see, right? You don't say I don't see. You imagine, you see also with imagination. The third is dream, right? You dream, you see. Fourth, Divya Drishti, right? Which Arjuna had. You cannot say no, right? And fifth is called Atma Drishti, okay? Got it? Which we see the physical eyes. Now, second, you have a, the imagination, okay? Third, we have a dreaming. Fourth, you have a Divya Drishti. And fifth, which you have Atma Drishti. Arjuna got a Divya Drishti, but still he remained the mortal, right? Again, he had a questions, keep asking. After explaining everything, that's why you have a Uttar Gita, you say? Some Anugita. It means his confusion was not clear, having Divya Drishtis, right? The yogi says, there is a fifth one which is called Atma Drishti, which you see yourself as yourself. Okay? That if you have, then confusion disappears. Otherwise, life always confuse. Having, we know, anger is bad. We suppose not to do that, but still we are doing, right? Read all explanation about the anger, this does like that, this does like that, everything. But when time comes, boom, it goes and blasts. I have seen, even happens me also. I know everything, but it doesn't work because I am trying to understand because the anger, why it happens? Why it happens, anger? What is the reason to have anger? Expectations. And what do you expect? You expect always limitless, whatever you expect, You don't expect little bit. When you say, I want to be happy, you don't want to be happy just 10 minutes or 20 minutes. You want to be happy forever, right? So expectation always is a limitless expectation. If that person makes me happy, he should make me happy forever. It's not like at 10 days you make me happy and then after that it's okay, I will manage. You don't do that. That expectations. And that expectation is a natural, It's my intrinsic nature to be happy, keep on searching that. And through where we search? Through the mind. And mind is what? Told you, limited. Through the limited mind, I am searching the limitless happiness which never ends. That's why the problem is. Knowing everything, still I have a problem, it means I have not worked out this, in me, from where I have to understand myself. That's why yogis, they have no happiness or they don't have unhappiness also. They are not happy, they are not unhappy. If they are happy, it will come unhappiness. They are unhappy, it will come happy. The coins both sides. So yogis, master, they are not happy or they are not unhappy. That is equilibrium, in the life. Whatever in this life, we want equilibrium, right? You don't want too much hot or too much cold. You want pleasant, everything. Body, also you want pleasant. Everything should move, my organs, my bodies, mind, everything very smooth. You become happy. Okay? Not a joy, you become happy. Now, why it is not giving me complete happiness? Because from here, when we go down towards this, that is called, the word called pinda. Pinda means, the lump. Okay, from here is called Brahmanda. Okay, Pinda and Brahmanda. So from here, when you go down and down, more and more means you don't, here is not like a sleep or deep sleep. Going down means you go external world more and more. When you go external world more and more, then your mind is more and more relates to out of my bodies, not inside my bodies. And then division happens more and more in my mind, then bringing together. So when we do yoga, or when we do pranayamas or when we do meditations, we try to bring these two energies together to balance my physical, which we say the sympathetic and parasympathetic, and then you go to, this Ida or Pingala. Have you heard this in yoga? Ida and Pingala. This two energy when comes together, joins together, that confusion disappears, yoga starts, and from there you go to step by step, and then you reach the level where we say this moksha or samadhi. Okay.